What if I told you there is a way to create a podcast without recording a single word? If you've ever wanted to start a podcast, you know how much effort it takes, from having to buy expensive gear, spending hours editing, and having to set up everything. Nobody has time for that in this day and age. Today, I'm going to show you how to create an entire podcast using AI. We're going to use ElevenLabs for all our AI voiceovers, Canva and Google Whisk for visuals, and then finally, we'll end with Descript to do all our video editing. So by the end of this video, you'll have a fully produced podcast episode without having to record a single word by yourself. Let's jump in. Alright, so the first place I actually start off is in Claude. You can use any kind of generative AI tools that you like, such as ChatGPT or Gemini, but I personally like Claude so far for creating podcast scripts. I find it more in depth than what ChatGPT produces, but that is just my personal preference, so obviously choose what you like best. One thing you could do is add the same prompt to all three, ChatGPT, Gemini, and also Claude AI, and see which one you like best. Speaking of prompt, this was the one that I used to get my video script generated. I say, can you give me a video script on business English podcast for a YouTube video specific on general business, I meant to put business there, between two people, allow them to introduce themselves, one male and one female, not fable. The thing that is key though is that I want to be able to paste this script into an AI voiceover software like ElevenLabs. So by saying ElevenLabs, Claude AI knows that this script is eventually going to be put in ElevenLabs. So that kind of ensures that the script is well formatted. And as you can see here, this is what was generated. Let me create a clean script. So we added two hosts, James for the male voice and also Sarah for the female voice. Claude AI also gave suggestions for which voices to use in ElevenLabs. And then it also broke down the script sections and finally gave me the script. The first script that was generated was pretty okay. However, I found the content to be too general. So I can give you an example right here. It says here, before we finish today, we have one small thing to ask you if you enjoyed this podcast. It says here, this podcast is for you if you're learning English. It was really basic and it was only one page. So obviously this was not going to work. So I had to be more specific with my prompt. And this is where good prompting makes a lot of difference. Okay, this looks good. Can you update it to be an actual conversation in a business setting? So now this got Claude AI thinking, and as you can see here, it was broken out even better. And here is the new script that was generated. It says, good morning, everyone. My name is James. I work in sales. Today, I'm starting a new job at a marketing company. I'm a little nervous. And then followed by Sarah, I'm a team manager. And this gave me a really good story going on about James joining a new company and starting a new job, and Sarah onboarding him and also introducing him to the new team. It also provided key vocabulary points. I really like the script, and this one was a lot more in-depth, which is good. And then I also asked, how long is this script? So I was aiming for a video of 20 minutes, and it told me that, oh, this is only about 7 to 9 minutes, which obviously was not what I wanted. So I said, please make it 20 minutes. And then you can see that it expanded my script even further. So this was the final script I was looking for. So you'd have to make sure you do a lot of back and forth and also provide very good specific prompts about what you're looking for. You're not going to get the final product that you're hoping to get immediately. It's going to take a couple of tries. So this was the script that I ended up with that was pretty impressive. And you can see here, they also added again the key vocabulary. It was also divided up into sections, which were really helpful for me to add pauses in between those sections when it came to generating the audio in ElevenLabs. So now that I had the script, I just downloaded it to my computer and I was ready for the next step, which was to go to ElevenLabs to generate the audio. Alright, so this is ElevenLabs. Before I continue, I want to explain the pricing for ElevenLabs. So I'm going to go here to subscriptions. I currently have the creator plan, as you can see here, which is $22 a month. But then there's also many other options depending on what you're looking for. The creator plan is good enough for me. That gave me 100,000 monthly credits. I believe I've already used 40% of that up on one video. Actually, no, it was 2 videos that I used it on. So I thought that was pretty good for me. I'm not looking to make more than, 3 to 4 videos each month. So this is how much it costs. I have about 61,000 credits left, as you can see here. All right, so when you go back to home, you can see there's all kinds of options that are given here, like instant speech, audiobook, image, video. I'm actually going to go to Studio right now, and this is where you'll find the template for creating a podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create a Podcast. Now, as you can see here, we have the option to upload the script that we previously generated in Claude. You can also just create your own script if you want and also upload that. The format we're going to choose is conversation. They also give you the option for something called bulletin, and it looks like this is going to be more focused on the host, and it's just going to be key updates from the host. Since we're going for a podcast conversational style, I'm just going to keep it at conversation. Duration, you can either choose short, default, or long. I'm just going to go with what is in the script, so I'm just going to keep it at default. All right, for host voices, this is where you're going to select the voices that you like, and you can choose all kinds of voices here. As you can see, what I have here is voices that I've already saved, which I browsed through on my own free time and chose the ones that I like. But if you want to find more voices, you can go ahead and go here and see which one you like and save the ones that you want. So we're going to go with just whatever we have right here. I'm not going to take my time to pick it since I'm making a video, but let's hear what it sounds like.
Single rose can be my garden. Single friend, my world.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. And then for the guest voice, we can choose someone else. So maybe we could go with Alexandra.
By repeating what students say, teachers can demonstrate that they are listening. By extending what students
All right, so I like that. And then the podcast language, we'll just keep it at automatically detect. Okay, let's make sure to upload our script right now. The script has been uploaded. As you can see here, this is what it looks like, which is really nice and clean. One thing though is when the script is uploaded, you're going to have to manually select the voices depending on the host. So I've already done that here. It's going to take a little bit of time. I would say about like 10 to 15 minutes to go through the whole script and select the voices that you like here on the side. So for example, the guy, James, that's going to be Chris. And then the girl, Sarah, was going to be the voice Alexandra. So you would just select that here manually using the voices. One thing you can also do, which is pretty cool, is you can add breaks in between those sections. So for example, right here, it says, "That is right. Remember, this podcast is for all levels. Exactly. Shall we get into it?" So that's cueing to the listeners that we're going to start the story, right? So you want some sort of a break here to prepare them for the next section. So I can just select this kind of pause icon sign here, which basically is insert break. As you can see, there's a shortcut. And then once you select insert break, you will see where you had it hovering. This 2 second with a plus sign shows up, and you can just increase however long you like. I found 2 seconds was enough for me, but feel free to increase it however much you need and just select apply. And then once you apply, this is what it's going to sound like.
Exactly. So, shall we get into it?
Let's go. Good morning, James. You are right on time. Did you have any trouble finding the office?
Good morning. No, it was easy, thank you. I took the subway and it was only about 20 minutes from my apartment. The office building is beautiful, by the way.
I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty impressive to me. I thought that was very clear and just perfect sounding and just amazing. Something I could definitely not record on my own. You can also find AI tools to use. For example, this remove background audio, so you can clean up any audios you like. You don't necessarily need this for generating audio, but if you're recording your own voice, this can be really helpful. You can also do use voice changes. You can modify voices in existing audio and so forth. So many cool AI tools also that you can check out. Once you have cleaned up your storyboard, and that is mainly consisting of selecting the correct voices on the correct sections and also adding breaks throughout the audio, you are ready to export your file. Now, to export your file, you will just go ahead and select export. And you can click media type, single file, and also MP3. All paragraphs are generated. You can now export the audio. So this is just basically telling you that all the paragraphs went through. So you'll go ahead and click export and you'll have your audio file ready. The next step now is to create a visual for your podcast. This can be anything depending on what type of podcast you're using. So for example, if it's a podcast about climate change, maybe you can just add a visual of the planet Earth and also maybe different kinds of efficient energy sources, stuff like that. But I'm going to again give you the example of the English podcast. If I go to YouTube, you will see a lot of these English podcasts start off with some sort of a visual of two people people talking and chit-chatting with each other. So for example, this one right here, you can see here, this is what the visual looks like. They have some sort of a subscribe button. There's two people talking. There's also captioning going on while the audio is being chatted. I'm specifically using Google Whisk to make this visual. We're now here in Google Whisk. This is the prompt that I use in 16:9 format. Please draw a cartoon picture of a woman and a man having a podcast in a business environment and wearing smart casual clothes. Let them be sitting waist up. And this is what it generated for me, which I thought that looked really good. So I would go ahead and download this visual, and that's going to be used in our video editing section when we're ready to put together the audio and the visual together. One thing you could also do is add some sort of introduction to your videos. I use Canva for this, and they have plenty of templates that you can find. So this is what it looks like. This would go at the beginning of your video before your podcast is going to start with the visual that we generated here in Google Whisk. To make this, all you have to do is go back to Canva, and I am going to go to Templates and then select YouTube Video Introductions. There's many different kinds that pop up. I'm going to be more specific and say classroom. And the reason why is because my podcast is about learning English. So I felt like a classroom setting would be cooler. There's so many different kinds that you can choose from. You can select the one that you like, edit it with the words and stuff like that, and then download it. So now we finally have our audio from ElevenLabs. We also have our visuals from Banana Pro, and now finally some sort of an introduction. We're ready to take all of this into Descript to make our video. As you can see, I'm currently in Descript, and I've already added in my visuals and also the MP3 file that was generated by ElevenLabs. What is cool about Descript is that any audio that is uploaded or included into the software directly gets transcribed, and you have kind of this format where you can easily remove sections just by deleting the text. This is really, really helpful in editing and makes the process go a whole lot faster. And this is one of the main reasons I like Descript, and this is the reason I use it and highly recommend. Since our audio was generated by ElevenLabs and everything was well structured, there's nothing I need to remove here. This is different if you were recording a video directly into Descript and you need to remove any kind of gaps or parts that you were stuttering, then that would make sense to remove it. What I'm going to do now is actually add captions to my video, and to do that I will go to Captions. As you can see, there's all kinds of styles that you can pick from. I'm going to go with modern yellow waveform. That kind of helps the font stand out better against the white background, and if I press play, this is what it'll look like.
Today, I am starting a brand new job at a marketing company, and I have to be honest.
I think that looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that style. The next thing this needs is music for the introductory part of my video, and this is what it looks like right now. As you can see, we have Welcome to Mastering Business English and some cute images. So to add some audio over there, I'm going to zoom in, and what I'm going to do is basically just select the 5 seconds here. And that's the other cool part about Descript. It automatically separates your audio and quiet parts and all that into chunks, and it's easy to select the parts that you like. I'm just going to click that 5 seconds, and then I'm going to click media and select audio. There's all kinds of cool audio that you can choose, basically stock music that you can select from. So I'm going to choose the one that I like. As you can see, the audio was automatically added to the 5 seconds of silence here in the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and edit it to the part that I like. And to do that, all you have to do is drag out the part and then just click and move to the parts that you like.
We cover topics like sales, marketing, and more.
And then I'm going to move it back over here and reduce it back to 5 seconds. So now we have the video ready. We have all the audio and the visuals. As you can see, this is what it looks like.
Remember, this podcast is for all levels of English learners. If we say a word you do not know, do not worry.
So we have the closed captioning, we have the videos, and we also have our introductory section with some music. And that's it. That's how you create a professional podcast using AI tools. As you can tell, this workflow can save you hours and can be especially helpful if you're trying to start your own personal brand or start a side hustle or even just create educational content. If you found this video helpful, please like this video and also subscribe for more AI video tutorials. Feel free to also comment below if there's a specific type of AI tool that you would like to learn more about. Thank you for watching.